Hey guys, what's up? Spectre here, and last time I took a dive into the car scene in Cyberpunk 2077, but this time I'll be discussing netrunning, its history, some notable netrunners in Cyberpunk lore, as well as some of the gear you might want to get your hands on when you jump into Night City yourself. Let's begin. The net has changed forms many times over the years within the Cyberpunk universe. At one point, you had to access it via a terminal or computer, according to official lore. A faster way, however, was through a cyber modem interface. This would allow users to interact with data in all three dimensions, immersing you within the virtual space itself. However, in 2077, that global network no longer exists as it was destroyed by corporate hackers and rogue programs. One of the legends of the global net gone by is a netrunner known as Rach Bartmus. He was reclusive and incredibly paranoid. His claim to fame, inventing demon and hound programs designed to track down and kill rival netrunners. His own death, however, is a mystery, with various stories surrounding his demise. Some believe he fell victim to dehydration and malnutrition, others still believe that he was murdered by a megacorporation. He left one parting gift, however, the destruction of the net. His daemons, rogue AI, and viruses melted through data fortresses, causing lasting and permanent damage to the very infrastructure that held the net together. These programs, sometimes called Rabbids, roving autonomous Bartmus interface drones, lingered across the net, replicating themselves, leaking sensitive information, and more. This crippling damage would take an international effort to fix, and I use the word fix lightly. Netwatch, the corporation that oversees activity on the net and seeks to fix or at the very least sequester the damage, created the Black Wall. This hyper-advanced firewall seals away those Rabbids, but not perfectly. Netrunners have been known to try to venture beyond the Black Wall. Older systems and databases have literally been split in half by it, creating doubles or ghost systems. It's imperfect and very complicated. There are even entire parts of the net untouched by humans and run by AI. The modern result of all this mayhem and dysfunction is what is known as the Shadow Net, the current state of the net in 2077. This is a fractured space, consisting mostly of separate, smaller networks, usually a national, state, or citywide network used for internal communication, work, and advertising, according to the World of Cyberpunk art book. And while Netwatch continues its work to rebuild a worldwide net, a rare few continue to venture back into that broken space, as it holds old databanks and can be used to communicate globally to others who dare access it. But now that you're primed on the state of the net and its history, let's get you kitted out with some gear. The equipment you'll be using to hack your way through the game can be divided into gear tiers, 0 through 5. Tier 0 consists of older cyber decks that were mostly popular in the 2020s, and they're considered obsolete by any respectable netrunner. They remain highly upgradable and can be used on the go, but its overall size and manual operation really hampers its viability for the modern netrunner. A personal link built into the ARM, seen here, is the simplest modern hacking interface. This Tier 1 tech allows users to issue commands to computer systems without using an external input device. A personal link can be used for simple operations that require physical access, as in plugging directly into the port onto the device. This is great for hacking things like elevators, doors, maintenance bots, or, stealing documents from a laptop. Tier 2 is a bit more dangerous and is done via a personal port in the back of the head, seen here. This Matrix-style method of interacting with the net is often paired with a set of cyber goggles, or a hacked braindance headset. This enables full dive immersion into the net, interacting with it in 3 dimensions. This setup results in faster speeds for data transfer and allows the user to venture deeper into the net. However, you do introduce the danger of exhaustion, as your core body temperature can rise significantly while accessing the net this way. Many try to mitigate this by sitting in pools of iced water, or even repurposed refrigeration units. Tier 3 is a slight step up from 2, as it's used by more professional netrunners, with slightly upgraded gear elevating the overall experience. The personal port used in Tier 3 is upgraded to allow for higher capacity data transfer, and often a full-body suit made to regulate body temperatures. Another must-have for netrunners operating at this level is a netrunner station, which, to be honest, looks like the hacker equivalent of a gaming chair, allowing users to sit comfortably for a long time without circulation loss or discomfort issues. Tier 4 tech is usually reserved for corpo netrunners. These hackers use top-of-the-line bleeding-edge tech. Their stations have life support built in, blood cooling systems, cryostasis, and more. They usually operate in teams of 4 or 5, defending one another from other corporate agents prowling the net. And if I come to think about it, that sounds like an interesting premise for multiplayer gameplay. And finally, Tier 5. This god level is used almost exclusively by Netwatch themselves, and in fact people often mistake it for a much lower tech setup due to just how compact and built-in its features are. We can see here that the Netwatch agent looks like he has run-of-the-mill cybernetics, but very densely packed into his body are some of the most advanced bits of Netrunning tech currently available. Cooling, memory, and high-bandwidth ports are all built in, compact and extremely sleek, making users the equivalent of a walking sleeper PC. But that's it for this quick dive into Cyberpunk lore. If you haven't, go back and check out my guides on in-game weapons, or even my look at cars in the world of Cyberpunk, or my video on what it's like to be rich in Night City. I'd also recommend picking up a copy of the official lore and art book, the source for much of my information in this video. Make sure you're subbed for more coverage of the game through its release, and hit that notification bell. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.